Well, Alabama has returned as kings of college football. Yes, Alabama won the 18th national championship in school history, and Nick Saban just won his seventh national championship overall, sixth as the head coach of the Alabama. As overall, he passed Paul Bear Bryant to winning the most national championship as a head coach in school in AP poll hit in the AP poll era. Makes him the the coach with the most championships in history. And real quickly, from top to bottom, this was all Alabama. Ohio State tried to make it a game, even though Devontae Smith was out of the game was out of the game due to the dislocated finger or dislocated finger, and despite we wish Trey Simeon of Ohio State, he was knocked out. He was out of the game. He couldn't feel his arm. But other than that, it was all Alabama from the first. And I've been saying this since 2008. Anytime you play, it doesn't matter what year it is. Anytime you play Alabama, whether it's the regular season, the playoffs, or the national championship, you have to score first. Because if you don't score first, Alabama is going to eat you alive, and it will be a long day. It will be a long day, and just like what we saw last night was no exception. Alabama was the better team from top to bottom. Ohio State tried to make it a game. Ohio State, Ohio State tried to hold on. They competed. They competed. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. But in the end, it was too much Alabama, and the game was over by halftime. It was simple as that. Alabama is the best team in college football. They were the best team in college football this year. And they showed you why. And I'm gonna say this: out of all the Nick Saban teams they have, I think this is the best team I think this is the best team I could confidently say this is the best Alabama team he ever coached. I think it's not a debate. This is not even close. The offense is legit. The offense is just scary. Matt Brown, five touchdowns, throw for 400 over 400 yards. He could go over 500 yards. Mac Brown had a pictured perfect day. Navarre Harris had a good day too in the office. But so much firepower, it was too much for Ohio State. Okay? Now, you want to sit there and say, listen, y'all can sit there and say, Alabama, the Big Ten have no business playing in the ACC. You might be right. But at the end of the day, Alabama's the best team in college football. And the ACC and the SEC once again prove again they are the best team in college football. They are the best team in college football. This is the second year SEC team won the national championship. LSU, Alabama. Let's face it, the SEC has been the best team in college football since 2006. I could confidently say they're the best team. Florida, Florida, LSU, Alabama. You know, it would have been Auburn, but Auburn is not as good as Alabama. And thinking about it now, remember several years ago that you remember in once upon a time when Nick Saban coached the Miami Dolphins, and we all thought that remember when he lied in a press conference talking about he didn't want to go, he's not going to Alabama, he's still going to coach the National Football League. Well, what a difference does that decision make? Think about this: if he didn't make that decision, if he didn't make that decision, he wouldn't be the coach. He wouldn't be the coach that he is today, isn't it? Oh, what if he stayed at LSU? You know, a lot to think about, but you know, and before I'm just going to close on this real simply by saying this. Thank God they got through a college football season, despite the fact COVID impact college football. No question about it. But, you know, they got through it. They've gone through it. And they present you in the national championship, you know, in the end. And you know what? Even though the circumstances was different, and it is what it is. But you know what? We got ourselves a national championship in 2020. And that's how we close the college football season in 2020. Peace.